All right, we were just on the verge of beginning a discussion of the election of 1912, which was particularly significant and important. You had four main candidates. You had sitting President Taft there, who had the Republican nomination, was running for re-election. You had former President Teddy Roosevelt, who had tried to get the Republican nomination unsuccessfully. So he formed a third party, the Progressive Party, also called the Bull Moose Party. The Democrats chose Woodrow Wilson. And then you had Eugene Debs here once again as the candidate for the American Socialist Party, which, never came close to a majority in any of these elections, but always had a sizable minority. What is particularly significant about this election is that all four of these candidates had progressive platforms. In essence, all of them, to varying degrees, were left of center. Okay, so let's say this is the center. This is the center, then Democratic candidate Woodrow Wilson there, and President Taft. Both of them are just a little bit to the left of center. Teddy Roosevelt would be even more to the left of center, and Eugene Debs would be all the way off the chart as far as being left of center. Here is a copy of the platform of the Progressive Party, also known as the Bull Moose Party, the New Progressive Party. These are the things that they wanted. Remember, this is Teddy Roosevelt's party. A lot of these things were things that the populists had been seeking in the original Progressive Party back in the Populist Party, rather, back in the 1890s. Campaign finance reform, the registration of lobbyists. If somebody is approaching politicians and trying to influence their vote, then the public has a right to know who they are. Political primaries, something we take for granted today, but at this time, there was the big political convention in the summer, and there were backroom deals sometimes. It was all decided at that convention, as opposed to the primary system we have now, which is what they were calling for. A minimum wage for women, women's suffrage, that is to say, the vote for women, social insurance. Roosevelt was the first of many presidents to try to get some form of socialized insurance for the United States. Limited injunctions for strikes. Injunctions, that is when a judge can rule that a strike is illegal, and therefore picketing is illegal and everyone has to go to work. That is something that was frequently used when people went on strike. A judge would issue an injunction, and that would give the owners of whatever facility it was the legal authority to disrupt the picketing. He called for workers' compensation for if you were injured on the job, an inheritance tax, an income tax, the direct election of senators. Again, for most of our country's history, senators were not directly elected by the voters, but chosen by the state legislature. And just because it's Teddy Roosevelt, 2 battleships a year. This is what Roosevelt called for: to destroy this invisible government, to dissolve the unholy alliance between corrupt business and corrupt politics, is the first task of the statesmanship of the day. In fact, I have a little clip here of a speech, a couple of minutes from of a speech by Roosevelt that I think it would be interesting to take the time to listen to right now. So that's what we're going to do.